Welcome to Wednesday Lessons video and podcast show. Today we have my brother, Tay Harris, Big Faith Talk.
Big Faith Talk, a whole lot of it.
Y'all see the sweater, man. You see the light. So we got a good show up ahead. But just a little bit about Tay. He's a 27-year-old native of Memphis. He obtained his bachelor's degree from Murray State University in Human Service and Social Work. He is now using his degree as a behavioral specialist within the Shelby County Schools. Tay is also a two-time published book author under the alias Lost X Artist. He is inspired every day to change the lives of the youth through motivational speaking and community service. Tay is also a man of the greatest fraternity in the world, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited to have you on, bro.
Yes, sir.
So before we get into the question, man, I really want to hear the background about the Big Faith Talk because I follow you on Instagram. You post a lot of inspirational stuff. So just share with the people about that.
Right. So basically, where Big Faith Talk started from was actually last year. I was working at Jeter K8, and I had some very instrumental people around me, and they go by the Priors, and they have their own thing, the Hygiene Chick. And also I had Stephen Allman who does Sports Life. And we're just brainstorming on different ideas of how we could bring the community together with the assets that God basically gave us as individuals. So for them, Miss Pryor hers was hygiene, Step Hills was sports, and for me, mine was faith. I always been a people's person, and I knew I wanted to have a strong impact on people. Right. So I just took that idea and ran with it and ended up making I call it a faith board, just write my goals down for the year. Mm-hmm. And it was a big faith board. So I'm just dang, all right, big faith. I always like to talk, and we just kind of put it together in class and called it Big Faith Talk. And I just kind of took off with it, and people like it. I tend to inspire about 1,000 people on Instagram every day. So that's basically the origin of it.
Okay, that's what's up. So I also saw that you recently did you publish something recently? You did something.
Yeah, I published 2 books, co-authored 2 books with my mom.
Okay.
One of them is called Tested. It's 365-day devotional.
Okay.
And then the other one is Motivational Mondays, which is your weekly devotional.
Right.
And it's a book that just talks about the things I've been through in my life, some of the things that my mom has went through, and also tied it in with the faith-based aspect, giving you a Christian background, along with some scriptures, and you can write, how you feel during the week, and you can also do that in the Tested to 365 days.
That's what's up, man. Salute. We don't see a lot of us, a lot of young brothers doing that kind of stuff, so anytime you see it, definitely you got to show love, you got to respect it. So I applaud that for sure.
Thank you.
So let's move into you and education. So what kind of inspired you to get into education?
That was a long road for me. Actually, coming out of college, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just I got this degree. At the time, I was tattooing in Kentucky, but I knew that's not my passion. That's not something I wanted to do. So I was in Kentucky from 2010 to 2017, and I ended up moving to Nashville for a year. And then I came back to Memphis because my mom was about to move to China. Okay. So my mom is an educator. She's an educator in China now at an international school. And my grandmother used to be an educator.
We still on.
Yeah, okay. So my cousin is an educator. So she had her own school, and she knew a principal that needed a ISS teacher. Mm-hmm. So I went over there to Jeter K8. It was my first year. Got my feet wet, and I mean really wet because it's a rough environment. And I saw how much the kids needed me. So I just took that every day. Every day that I would get kids, my goal was to mold them so they wouldn't come at the ISS, right. But not only just not being in ISS, but also being aware in class, being aware, being alert, being able to learn and comprehend, not only at school, but in the real world as well. And then I moved on to my school I'm at now, Brownsville Road Optional School, and I got a higher position. I'm doing a little bit different of a job, but the goal is always the same.
Okay.
So yeah, education, I took off with it 2 years only, and it's been more than great for me.
That's what's up, man. We, you know what I'm saying? I always say, every person I have on, we need more of us in the field.
For sure.
And you can see in your short time how effective that you've been, you know what I'm saying, just by you being who you are and doing things your own way. Mm-hmm. So that's what's up. At what point, I know you talked about your interactions with them and just kind of the general aspect of wanting them to do better. Mm-hmm. But at what point during your, you said 2 years?
2 years.
What point during your 2 years did you realize that you could and that you actually were making an impact?
As soon as I got to the school, because I'm so young and the kids can see like, oh, his age gap between me and my parents not that different. Yeah. And then I was also a head coach for Jeter K8 basketball. Okay. And I just saw like the little tedious things and the little speeches that I would give them impacted them so much. They took that grain of salt and ran with it each and every day. So I saw like as soon as I walked into the school, the kids already gravitated me. I got tattoos. They like, who is this? Mm-hmm. And then they seeing me every day in the cafeteria, seeing me in the hallways. So it became instantaneous. So like, okay, I can have a big effect. Even if it's just one child, I can change that one child's life, and they can change their life, and they can change their life, and I always have a big impact.
That's what's up. By the way, I think you probably the only other teacher I know that got more tattoos than me. So I'm like, I gotta step
my whole body almost tatted.
Yeah, I gotta catch up with you, man.
For sure.
But that's what's up. That's love, man. So you talked about the journey of you. It was kind of a long journey for you to get into education. So, would you care to speak on any challenges or mistakes you think that you made, like coming into your profession, or even while you've been in it?
Mm-hmm. So, just the process of even getting to the profession of education, for me, goes all the way back to childhood. Mm-hmm. Like my mom had 6 degrees, but we still were in North Memphis. Like I was primarily raised in North Memphis with my granny. And it was just a lot of day-to-day struggles, a lot of trial and error, things where I had to learn on my own. Mm-hmm. Even moving forward to college, I had a scholarship. I was playing football at Murray State for 2 years, and it was just a lot of me having to being able to mature, me being able to grow, learn from the mistakes I made, learn from people around me. I was never one where they tell you that the stove is hot and I'm going to touch it. Yeah. Like, I'm going to watch somebody else touch it and I'm going to learn. But ultimately, I felt like that God had me in a position, especially within like my last 2 years of college, I went through a lot, to where he was basically trying to mold me into what he wanted me to be. And I was back and forth, like struggling with him, like, this not what I want to do. I used to always say, I'm never moving back to Memphis. Yeah. But here I am, and I actually love it, and I actually love just being in an environment of where each and every day is different, and each and every day I can have a big impact on kids' lives, and then at the same time, my coworkers. Right. Like a lot of them follow me on Instagram. A lot of my coworkers from last year, we were like a close-knit family. So they know me more in depth by, following me on Instagram and also seeing me at work. So just that route to education itself, it took a lot of work. Like God definitely poured a lot into me.
I promise you I can understand, bro. I promise you I can understand. So what would be some inspiration or wisdom that you would share with anyone who is either trying to navigate their way into finding what they're supposed to be doing, or even anyone that's already in the field of education that you know what I'm saying, you could share something with them?
I think the biggest thing is prayer. And within prayer, you have to be direct with God as to what you want him to do for you. Right. And God will always provide. A lot of people don't realize that God would never put more on you than you can handle. So whatever storm that you're going through, like stay persistent. Stay persistent, because trouble definitely don't last always. Because, in order to smile, you got to frown sometimes. Yep. And vice versa. Like, you have to go through adversity to get to where you want to be. And sometimes you also have to realize, like, your goals and God goals not always gonna line up.
What you said.
Like, I got a tattoo, Isaiah 55:8, where God says, my ways are not your ways and my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to realize, even as kids growing up that want to get into the profession of education or whatever it may be, I think prayer is instrumental. Right. And people have to realize, like, the way that I'm going and the way that God wants me to go is not always going to line up. Mm-hmm. But he's always going to have the best outcome for me. I think that's one of the biggest thing each and every day. And I know, like, they took prayer out of the schools, but kids understand, kids know, and sometimes kids will come, Mr. Harris, can we pray? I got a test today, you know, anything. So prayer is very instrumental into getting into your field and staying persistent in your job and being able to wake up every day and not being, I don't want to go. Like, that's one thing for me. I love my job. And I love my career field, so every day I pray. Even before I walk in the building, God, open my heart, open my mind, let me receive and let me give what you have for me. Right. So if you're going into work, especially into the educational field where you have kids who are looking up to you every day, you got to stay prayed up.
That's so true.
Got to stay prayed up.
That's so true, man. So is there anything else that you know what I'm saying, would just like to share with the people, anything that you have coming up or that you're involved in? You got the floor, bro.
Oh, yeah. So for me, Big Faith Talk, I think for 2020 upcoming is me to go more legit, me trying to push into having a nonprofit, doing the paperwork and then expanding. So I want everybody to make sure y'all be on the lookout for Big Faith Talk. Also, I'll be working this upcoming week with Sports Life United and the Hygiene Chick. We'll be doing we're doing the Memphis Central Alumni Turkey Bowl. Okay. And we're going to be giving away food, giving away some hygiene stuff. Just, you know, being rooted into the community. I'm just trying to push some more work. I'm also working on the third book, which will just be my story, how I saw things coming up. It'll give people a more in-depth of why I'm so big on faith and all of the things that I've been through that have gotten me to this point so far. So, like, I'm going to just be out more visual in the city of Memphis especially. My ultimate goal is to be the superintendent.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Shelby County
School. So
right, okay.
I got a whole bunch of work to put in. So I'm like, hey, might as well get started now, get out into the community, shake some hands, get some babies, write some books and stuff like that.
That's
for sure.
That's what's up, bro. Don't forget about me.
Don't forget. My boy doing this thing, can't forget.
Well, man, last thing, if you, you know what I'm saying, if you're watching and you enjoyed this, he has a lot of great things going on. Just share with people how they can stay in contact with you, like via social media.
You all can contact me on Instagram via Big Faith Talk. It's all together, BIGFAITH Talk, TALK. I go by Tay Harris. That's me. So come follow, come get some inspiration, some motivation each and every day, and that's pretty much it.
All right, well, cool. Well, thank you all for tuning in today. Remember these 3 things: we live, we love, and we learn.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.